Hi folks, my name's Pat Deary. I'm the owner of Noblesville Ace Hardware. I've been doing this a very long time, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about doing exterior painting. When you start doing exterior painting, you are going to need several things. You're going to need some scrapers, you're going to need brushes, you're going to need a good quality paint and a good quality primer if you're doing bare wood. First thing I'd start with is your scraper. You want to get a decent scraper, something that you can scrape the wood with, putty knife, a good scraper, scrape all the loose paint off, sand it down even if you have to, and then you're going to want to do a clean, wipe it off with either wet rag or a hose wash, something like that, and then get ready to paint. I would do all your caulking. Use a good quality caulk, something that you can fill all the cracks, holes, that sort of thing before you get started painting. You will want to prime your bare areas of wood, and then you will also want to do a good finish coat. Any good paint will do, and then there's also different sheens to that paint. You're going to have to ask your customer what sheen do they prefer. Most commonly used is satin or semi-gloss finishes on trims of houses. If they're doing the walls of the houses, normally that would be a flat paint, so used more commonly as a flat paint. But you need to find out from your folks what they're doing. Dig into it. Ask those questions. I mean, where are you painting? You know, what are you doing? What's the temperature going to be? Keep that sun out of the paint area when they're painting. You don't want the paint to dry too fast. You want it to cure correctly. Other than that, it hasn't changed much. Make sure they got brushes, rollers, caulking, scrapers, drop cloths. You want to cover up those areas where the paint could fall and get stuck on concrete, windows, that sort of thing. You can ask your folks if they need how much paint they need by how much square footage that they're going to be doing. Most paints cover 400 square feet per gallon, and depending on the porosity of the product, it may be less, maybe a little more. If they're going over painted material that's in pretty good shape, they'll probably get more square footage out of the paint than if it were bare wood. If you're talking to your customer about what kind of paint they are wanting, most paints are primer paints in one now, and that works fine, especially over previously painted products, so that you don't have to prime to keep your colors, you know, going from a light color to a dark color. It'll cover it okay. But if you're doing bare wood, I would use a separate primer if it was me before you do it. One, it'll save you a lot of square footage. You'll use about half the square footage when you're using it as a primer on bare woods, bare siding, that type of product. Where if you prime it, you'll get lots more coverage out of your finished paint than you will with not using a primer. If you're helping someone with an older home that's not been painted in a while, there's a possibility there's lead paint on the home. There are some lead test kits that you can purchase and get sent in and see if there is lead in the old paint. If there is, they will probably have to do some type of abatement process before they can begin scraping and sanding and doing all that. At least tell your customer that before they get started.